Hey everyone! You know how much we love exploring creative fields, and today we're diving into one that's having a real moment: wood painting.
It really is experiencing a resurgence, isn't it?
It is, and what's cool is it's not just, birdhouses or those cute signs you see at the craft fair, although those have their place. We're talking about a craft where you can build a whole career blending artistry and, well, some serious business savvy.
Absolutely. It's that perfect blend of creativity and, like you said, that entrepreneurial spirit that's drawing so many people in.
Right. And the guide you shared, Wood Painter, the complete career guide from RoleCatcher, it goes way beyond the basics. It's like a roadmap for anyone serious about turning their love of wood painting into, well, a living.
It really does lay it all out there, doesn't it? Everything from understanding different wood types to marketing your finished pieces.
Yeah, and speaking of different wood types, I love that part where it talked about how you wouldn't approach, say, a pine piece the same way you'd approach oak.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, each type of wood has its own personality, its own grain pattern, its own way of absorbing paint and finishes. It's like choosing the right canvas for a painting. You have to consider the material just as much as the image you want to create.
So it's not just about grabbing your favorite shade of blue and going to town.
Well, it can be if you're just having fun experimenting, which is great.
Yeah.
But to achieve a truly professional result, yeah, you really have to understand how different woods react to different paints and finishes.
Okay, so that's the wood itself, but then there's the whole world of paints and finishes, right? I mean, are we talking oils, acrylics, stains? What's the deal with all of that?
It can seem overwhelming at first, but the guide does a great job of breaking it down. It really depends on the look you're going for and the type of wood you're working with.
Like, if you wanted a more rustic, aged look, would you use a different type of paint than if you were going for something super modern and sleek?
Exactly. For a rustic vibe, you might go for milk paint or chalk paint, which have that naturally distressed finish. For a modern look, you might opt for a high-gloss enamel or even a metallic paint for a bolder statement.
See, this is what I love about this deep dive. I'm already looking at wood differently. But it's not just about the paints and finishes, right? The guide also mentioned how technology is changing the game.
It is, and this is where things get really exciting, I think. We're seeing more and more wood painters incorporating techniques like laser engraving into their work.
Laser engraving. Wow, I'm picturing those incredibly intricate designs you sometimes see, the one that look like they took like a million years to carve by hand.
You got it. Laser engraving allows for that level of precision and detail, which really opens up a whole new world of possibilities for wood painters.
It's amazing how this centuries-old craft is evolving with these modern tools. Okay, so we've got this blend of traditional skills and cutting-edge technology, but what about the actual day-to-day life of a wood painter? I mean, paint a picture for me. Is it all sawdust and paint-splattered smocks?
Well, it can be, especially if you're working with power tools or doing a lot of sanding and prep work. But honestly, the work environment for a wood painter can vary quite a bit.
Oh, really? So it's not all like dark and dusty workshops?
Not at all. Some wood painters do have their own dedicated studio spaces, which can be anything from a cozy corner in their home to a spacious warehouse, depending on their needs and the scale of their work.
I bet those studios are full of character. Like, you walk in and there's that smell of wood and paint and maybe some half-finished projects scattered around, just waiting for inspiration to strike.
Exactly. It's their creative sanctuary. But you could also find yourself working on-site for clients, maybe in their homes or businesses.
Oh, that's right. Like, if someone's commissioning a custom piece of furniture or a mural or something, so one day you're in your own little world, and the next you're collaborating with a client in their space. That sounds dynamic.
It is. And speaking of collaborating with clients, that's a big part of the business side of things, which the guide also touches on.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to ask you about. I mean, you're an artist, but you're also an entrepreneur, right?
That's the thing, you kind of have to be both to make it as a wood painter, especially if you're freelancing or running your own business.
Which, according to the guide, a lot of wood painters are. So what does that look like? I mean, besides the actual painting, what other hats do you have to wear?
Well, for starters, you're your own marketing department.
Ah, so we're talking social media, maybe a website, craft fairs, all of that.
Exactly. You've got to get your work out there, connect with potential customers, build a brand for yourself, and then there's the whole pricing thing, which can be tricky.
Yeah, how do you put a price on art, right? It's not like you're just selling a mass-produced widget. Each piece is unique.
Right. And it's not just about the materials and the time you put in, but also the skill, the creativity, the passion that goes into each piece.
And managing those client relationships, making sure everyone's on the same page about the vision for the project, the timeline, the budget, all of that.
It's a lot to juggle, but for many wood painters, it's all part of the appeal.
It's like running your own creative business, which can be both exciting and, let's be honest, a little overwhelming at times.
For sure. But the guy does a great job of breaking it all down into manageable steps. It's like having a mentor in your back pocket, guiding you through the process.
It's that entrepreneurial spirit that really comes through in this guide. But let's say you're listening to this and you're like, okay, sign me up. Where do I even begin? What are those must-have skills for aspiring wood painters?
Well, the guy breaks it down into two main categories. You've got your hard skills and your soft skills. And don't let the names fool you. Both are equally important in this field.
Okay, so hard skills, that's got to be the actual painting techniques, right?
Exactly. We're talking about mastering different brush strokes, understanding how to use stencils effectively, knowing when to go for a bold, graphic look versus something more intricate and detailed.
Like those layered, almost three-dimensional pieces you sometimes see. There's some serious artistry in those.
Oh, absolutely. Those take a lot of skill and patience to create. And of course, it's not just about the painting itself. The guide also emphasizes the importance of understanding how to prep different wood surfaces properly, how to apply finishes that enhance both durability and beauty, even things like troubleshooting common painting problems, because, hey, we've all been there, right? Those drips happen.
Oh, tell me about it. I've had my fair share of DIY disasters. But it's good to know that those are skills you can learn and master, just like anything else. Okay, so we've covered the hard skills, but you also mentioned soft skills. What are those, and why are they so important for a wood painter?
Well, think about it this way. You could be the most technically skilled wood painter in the world, but if you can't communicate effectively with clients, if you can't understand their vision and translate that into a finished piece, it's going to be tough to build a successful career.
It's like they say, people might not always remember what you said, but they'll remember how you made them feel. And if you can guide a client through that creative process with patience and understanding, that's going to leave a lasting impression.
Exactly. And those soft skills, things like active listening, clear communication, being able to problem solve creatively, those are essential in any field, but especially when you're working directly with clients on projects that are often very personal and meaningful to them.
It's like you're not just painting a piece of wood, you're helping them bring a vision to life.
Exactly. Okay, so let's say you've been practicing your brushstrokes, you're feeling confident about your skills, you're even starting to get a handle on the business side of things. What's next? How do you actually put yourself out there in the world of professional wood painting?
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? How do you go from like painting in your basement to showcasing your work and attracting clients?
The guide is very clear on this point. Building a strong portfolio is non-negotiable.
So not just like a random assortment of photos in your phone, but a curated collection that really showcases your style and skills.
Absolutely. Think of it as your visual resume. It needs to grab attention, tell a story about your abilities, and make people want to see more. So you'll want to include pieces that highlight your range, your attention to detail, your ability to work with different wood types, techniques, and styles.
So like, here's a rustic sign I made that shows off my freehand lettering, and check out this delicate floral design on a refurbished jewelry box.
Exactly. You want to show them what you're capable of. And the guide also suggests thinking about your target audience. Are you drawn to restoring antiques, creating whimsical children's toys, crafting modern minimalist pieces? Your portfolio should reflect the kind of work you want to attract.
Because if someone's looking for a sleek, modern coffee table, they're probably not going to scroll through dozens of photos of hand-painted birdhouses, no matter how adorable they are.
Right. It's about being strategic and showcasing the work that aligns with your goals and your ideal clientele.
That makes a lot of sense. And it's not just about the online world, right? I'm picturing networking, maybe setting up a booth at a craft fair, even reaching out to established artists for advice.
You're on the right track. The guide emphasizes the importance of immersing yourself in the art community. Attend workshops, follow other artists whose work you admire, maybe volunteer at a local gallery or art center. Building those connections can open doors, spark inspiration, and provide invaluable support as you navigate the world of professional wood painting.
So, you've honed your skills. You've crafted a stunning portfolio that showcases your unique talent. And now it's time to land that dream job or commission. What's next? Those interviews can be nerve-wracking.
They can be, but this guide doesn't leave you hanging. One of the most insightful takeaways I found was that employers aren't just looking for technical skills. They're also assessing your problem-solving abilities, your adaptability, your ability to handle challenges on the job.
So it's not enough to just say, I'm a great painter. You've got to demonstrate how you think on your feet, how you approach unexpected situations, how you stay cool under pressure.
Exactly. They even included a sample interview question about how you stay updated with the latest trends in wood painting, which is a really smart thing to think about because this field is constantly evolving.
So showing a commitment to continuous learning is key.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And here's the fascinating part. While these questions are geared toward wood painting, the underlying skills they're assessing, problem solving, adaptability, a thirst for knowledge, those are valuable in any career path.
It's like those soft skills. They're the secret sauce, aren't they? They can make or break you no matter what field you're in. But, speaking of secret sauce, this RoleCatcher guide, it's like it's got all these hidden gems, these extra tools and resources that go beyond just the information in the guide itself.
It does. It's like they've thought of everything to really support aspiring wood painters on their journey.
Like what? Give me an example.
Well, have you had a chance to check out their job description analysis tool?
The what?
The job description analysis tool. It's
Yeah.
really cool. You basically upload your resume,
Mhm.
and then you can copy and paste job descriptions that you're interested in. And it analyzes both of them. And it tells you if there are any skills or qualifications mentioned in the job description that you haven't included on your resume.
Oh, wow. So it's like, it's not just telling you to go out there and apply for jobs. It's actually helping you figure out how to make your application stronger.
Exactly. It's like having a personal career coach in your back pocket, helping you identify those areas where you might need to beef up your skills or experience.
I love that. It's like, we believe in you, but here's a little nudge in the right direction.
Exactly. And speaking of nudges, they also have this employer matching system, which is pretty cool.
Employer matching. Tell me more.
Okay, so if you choose to opt in, your profile basically becomes visible to potential employers who are actively using RoleCatcher to find candidates.
So instead of just sending out applications into the void and hoping for the best, you're basically putting yourself in front of people who are already looking for someone with your skills and experience.
Exactly. It's about making those connections and putting yourself out there in a way that feels, more proactive.
I love it. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive into the world of wood painting. We talked about everything from mastering those intricate painting techniques to understanding the ins and outs of running your own creative business. And we even uncovered some of the amazing tools and resources that RoleCatcher offers to help aspiring wood painters thrive.
It's been a fascinating journey. And honestly, I think anyone who's even remotely interested in wood painting should check out this guide. It's packed with valuable information and practical advice.
Absolutely. But, as comprehensive as this guide is, there's one essential ingredient it can't teach you, and that's your own unique artistic voice.
So true. This is where the real magic happens, right? It's about finding your own style, experimenting with different techniques, discovering what truly inspires you. Are you drawn to the rustic charm of folk art, the clean lines of modern design? Or maybe a fusion of styles all your own?
It's about embracing those happy accidents, those moments where you try something unexpected and create something truly unique and personal, and that's what people will remember.
Exactly. It's not just about painting wood. It's about infusing each piece with your passion, your creativity, your own story. And that's something no guidebook can teach you. That comes from within.
So to anyone listening who's feeling that spark of inspiration, that urge to create something beautiful and unique, I think this deep dive has shown that the world of wood painting is full of possibilities. Don't be afraid to experiment, to embrace the learning process, and most importantly, to let your creativity shine through.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And who knows, you might just surprise yourself with what you're capable of creating. Until next time, happy painting.